Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord has two big, massive problems. That's not to say though that I don't enjoy the game. I absolutely adore it. I have over 1,000 hours in the game myself. However, it doesn't mean that the game is perfect, and I think these 5 things I'm going to talk about in today's video would do a massive help to the game and add in pretty large quality of life changes throughout the game itself. And these aren't massive changes. These are changes I could see them adding, and it would obviously take work, but nothing too crazy. I'm not asking for an entire new continent or diplomacy to the game, even though I'd love to see them things. These are 5 small changes that I think would do go a long way for the longevity of Mountain Blade to Bannerlord. Also, for those of you who need to go to horny jail, the mod I was using right there was hot butter, so have fun kids, it's on Nexus mods. Okay, so let's start off with number 1 on the list, and it's not really the most exciting one of them. However, it's a simple change which I think would go a long way and just give you so much more time to play the game, and that is the mod launcher. It's actually really bad. I have been using a custom mod launcher since launch, but that's recently broken, unfortunately, and not been updated, so I'm back to using this, and it has really shown me how bad it is. The fact that you can't full screen this and you have to actually go ahead and look at it like this is horrific. Please, Taleworlds, give me the ability to increase the size of this, full screen it. I have like 50 mods on right now that I play in my House of the Dragon Let's Play, and yeah, it's so annoying having to switch on and off other mods. Now, it's great that we've also got a section for multiplayer mods. That's going to be really good, but I think now with the release of the Steam Workshop, they have to go back and change this. Let me full screen it and let me create playlists. Let me have some mods in one playlist for a certain playthrough and other mods in another one. I think now that we are also going into the release patch stage of the game's coming out of early access, we're going to be getting way less patches, and now people's mod lists will be lasting much longer. I can kind of look at and see why they've done something like this. It's much like the Warband style, but the thing is with Warband, you used to only play these really large overhaul mods that had everything all in one place, and Bannerlords just isn't like that. Maybe later on down the line it will be, but right now we need definitely to be able to full screen this so we can look at all of our mods and not have to scroll down and then select one mod and scroll down to where I want it in my load order. And we need to be able to create playlists at a very minimum, and I think that would go such a long way for creating these fun campaigns. On to point 2 now, and I think one thing that I would love to see changed in the game is workshops and kind of just the passive income that you do receive in the game. I think it would be very simple to add a little bit more interaction for the player to go ahead and mess around with and add a little bit more flavor to it. I think it's really fun, and it would definitely spice up the mid to late game. It breaks up the monotony of just fighting battle after battle after battle, which the game, you know, is kind of a story in itself, a different video in itself. But yeah, so right now let's just go ahead and talk about it. So right now, to buy a workshop, I'd just go ahead and talk to anybody here, and he'd be like, yo, and I'd be like, I want to buy the silversmith. I'd pay my money, and then the silversmith would be mine, and then it would just obviously start making some income over time, and you know, that's it. I do that, and I never touch it again. I can change the workshop, but that's about it. And I just click a button, I pay a little bit of money, I do that. I can sell it as well if I want to, but that's basically all it entails. I mean, I'll be passively getting money depending on if it's a profitable workshop or not, and that's fine. You know, it's a bit kind of boring. I click 3 buttons and then never interact with it again, really. But I would love to see so much more added. I think they've done a great job at, you know, refitting the economy in the game over the past couple patches, and I think improving workshops would be the way to go. They have also talked about adding in a new kind of criminal system into the game, which again will fall in the same category as caravans and workshops. Hopefully they'll add more to it, but what I would love to see with these caravans is the ability to actually supply your own workshops with the resources they need to function. If I can go somewhere and buy it cheaper and bring it back to my workshop, let me do that. And then in turn, let me then take the goods from the workshop itself and then sell them somewhere, maybe gain a bigger profit. I think that would be so much fun to actually be able to run more of that merchant playstyle rather than just kind of forgetting about it. Also, let me level it up, let me improve it, let me take on more people, let me actually have to bring the supplies needed to increase its rank. Maybe I need a bunch of hardwood and some, metal and some ore to improve the workshop, but then that gives me a greater output, but I have to pay more wages. I feel like just these simple additions to this workshop system would be huge and allow the player to actually kind of feel more like a merchant. I also would love that, if I did do that they would actually give me some trade experience as well. All of a sudden I am actually running my very own caravan from my very own workshops. I think that's a really cool and just very different play style, and allows players to kind of go down a different route. Like, let me make a bunch of money selling. That's basically what these two perks are here for, the Artisan Community and also the Great Investor. They're here to basically allow players to trade during the game, but not fall behind on the Renown game. They're actually probably the two most strongest perks in the game, besides maybe the armor ones and the weapon ones in Stewardship. But yeah, I think that's just such a good idea, and hopefully something that we will see in the future. The next thing I would really like to see them change is bringing back the old party management system, where you used to be able to assign characters to certain formations in your party screen management. And that's not to say that I don't like the new system. I think it's a great system. However, I would personally love to see a middle ground between the two. Let us keep the current system where you do assign them on the battlefield, but then also let me, if specified, assign soldiers on the party management screen. Like, maybe I want to put all my companions into certain groups, but there's not enough room to do that, and I want to give them certain bonuses. Or maybe I want to flood some spearmen into my archers. Like, why can't I do that? I think it'd be really nice to be able to then maybe apply certain shock infantry to their very own group and specify the exact shock infantry I want to utilize, because right now the game just kind of guesses. You can set some parameters, but there's not really anything too crazy. And I think it'd just be really nice to have a bit more control over your army. The ability to do that would be great. Also, why do we not have a sort function? I've been using party enhanced screen something, and it's just so much nice to be able to click one button and all your infantry's together in the ranks that they're assigned. Like, that should just be in the game. And this video isn't there for someone to tell me, oh, Jackie, that's already a mod, just go download it. That's not the point. There's a few features like this that I just think should just be in the game. But yeah, I would love to see them improve the current army management and allow me to specifically assign certain units in my army to certain groups. A hybrid system between the both would be absolutely awesome. The next thing on my list would definitely be better formations in battle. I mean, as Sun Tzu says, F1, F3, but I would love to see that change. I would love to see formations getting a real nice boost in the formation. I know there are some levels in the skill tree itself that do enhance certain formations, but I would love to see more of that, and some at default. Like, let me, when I press this, actually have bonuses to my line, my shield wall, my loose formation. Like, let that be more prominent, so that would basically not force players, but encourage players to use them formations. Like, why shouldn't the Skane formation give you an extra attack damage, or some more charge bonus? Again, the stats are kind of hidden. It's not like Total War in Taleworlds, math and stuff like that, where it's a bit more visible. But let me see that stuff. Let me actually go ahead and utilize them formations more. And I think by just giving them extra bonuses and kind of giving them a fitting role in the game, more players would use them. Because right now you F1, F3, or use shield wall, and that's really about it. And it's a real shame, because there are some really cool formations in the game that you can utilize, and a lot of the time you can kind of maybe optimize it with these formations, but it's not needed. And I would love to see that kind of emphasized more, but it would basically just encourage people to create these cool battles where you are utilizing these formations. Like, maybe loose formation makes it so that your archers maybe take less damage, but scatter formation means that your archers do more damage, and there's actually a bit of a weight in the battle. Like, do I want to stick my archers in scatter, or would I rather they be in loose formation? Same with the infantry as well. Kind of, do I want a defensive formation with the shield wall, or do I want more of an attacking formation in this game? Stuff like that would go a long way of just enhancing battles, and I don't really see it as that being that different of a change. Just kind of adding some extra stats to them, like they've shown they can do with the new banner system as well. I think that would be really cool. And the final thing in the video I would love to see Taleworlds improve in the game. It's just not making the renown grind such a grind. Right now, it's currently tier 1 is mercenary, tier 2 is becoming a lord, tier 3 is nothing, I believe, and tier 4 is finally being able to create your own kingdom, which is by some, esteem one of the funnest parts of the game, because you're going against everybody and it's just hectic and crazy and you really have to prep for it, and it's just a lot of fun. But why not allow the players to do that a little bit earlier? Either make it tier 3 or just improve the renown. Like right now, I think it's 50 to get to the first rank, which is absolutely fine. I don't think that's too bad whatsoever. Then it goes up to 150. Again, I think that's a very reasonable number. If we go ahead and add some more renown, we add in another 100. Yeah, I think that's completely reasonable. An extra 100 renown to get tier 2. Boom, I can now become a lord. That's all, that's a handful of hours. Then it's tier 3, it's up to 300. Okay, that's quite a lot. That's an extra, 200? Yeah, an extra 200 renowned. Okay, so it's just doubling. It's going to take me, I don't know, a handful of hours. That's fine, tier 3. And then tier 4 is 900 experience. Like, that is just crazy. Obviously, they are just doubling it and doubling it. But the tier 4 is just crazy. And the fact that you need that to create your own kingdom, it's just such a grind. Like, the first couple clan tiers is absolutely fine. You'll get them by just fighting battles and conquering. But the fact that you need 900 renowned, and unless you're gaming it, like, if you're just playing normally, not looking to, like, abuse, like, elite armies or doing anything along them lines, it's just a pain in the ass, and it kind of gets a bit boring. Like, I feel like speeding up the game isn't going to be a bad thing. I think the player can experience it, and a lot of the time, if the player isn't ready to create their own kingdom, they won't do it, so it doesn't even take that away. But I think giving the players the ability to do that will be so much nicer. And again, I'm not necessarily saying reducing the time or moving it to clan rank 3 to create your own kingdom. Maybe just give us some more perks. There are some in here that do give you renown. Again, the trade one is by far the best way to level up your renown, but you have to get to 125 trade, and maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you do want to just fight battles and conquer. So I feel like having more perks in here that do also give a greater renown. There are some tournament ones as well, I think, in one-handed. And there's that shield bonus as well, which I'd love to see more of. That's on the last point. More bonuses in these formations would be amazing. But yeah, I think there's some tournament bonuses as well, where you gain a bit more experience, or you gain some more renown from tournaments. Double renown from tournaments. Just give us more stuff like this to really kind of emphasize and allow the player to basically kind of weigh up. Do they want more combat stats, or would they rather just level up that renown faster? I think that's kind of the last thing really kind of sticking in the whole grinding of this game. Beforehand, skills used to take forever to level up, and Taleworlds heard the feedback and were like, yeah, you guys are right, and they made it so I think the leveling of skills is actually pretty good right now. Maybe some skills could be fine-tuned, but for the most part, you do level up pretty nicely by just playing the game, which is kind of how things should be. Yeah, I would just love to see that renown grind reduced, because right now it is disgusting. And yeah, the fact that you have to get 900 renown to create a kingdom, it is horrible for newer players and players who maybe aren't that hardcore. I'm sure I'm getting loads of comments like, 900 renowned isn't actually that much. I can get it in about 2 hours. Well, we all can't be strat gaming, like some of us are just plebeians who just aren't as diehard or aren't as elite at the game as some people. And I think for the most part, it should be reduced down. You still have to have the economy, the troops, the charm to actually create that kingdom. So why not just make it not as difficult and allow players to get that little bit easier? Or maybe even just give buildings, like maybe make some buildings to give renowned as well in your city. So you get to clan rank 2, you get given a castle, and then you focus on that by having a city or holding tournaments. I don't know. There's loads of stuff that they could add to the game to make that renown gain. So yeah, in that final point, either reduce the renown gain, or just reduce the grind for a renown gain, or just give us more options to gain more renowned. I think would be awesome. So that's going to be it for the video. Hopefully you guys got some good information from this, and hopefully some of you agree with me. Let me know though in the comments. I'd be interested to see who does agree, who disagrees, and if there's anything else. Again, I'm not talking about these massive overarching changes like adding naval battles, just these small additions to the game that I think would go a long way. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Subscribe if you haven't already. Bannerlord is only a week away now until release, so it's pretty exciting. Be sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We'll go going ahead and covering the game extensively at launch, checking out my new patch, doing a massive 24-hour stream, and also releasing a complete beginner's guide. So if you are new to the game as well, I've got you covered, don't worry. So I'll see you guys in the next one, and fish out.